Good day, folks. Thank you for joining us here at Your Health. On today's program, we'd like to talk about nature's remedy for the blues or depression, St. John's wort. Now, many of you have been fighting illness for a long time, and it's got you down in the dumps, and you think, boy, I need something to help improve my attitude, to put one foot in front of the other so I can regain the pathway to health. But you don't want to take these medications that everybody seems to be taking today, these antidepressants. Well, St. John's wort is the answer for you. This is a remarkable substance, and more people should know about this. It really does work, and I'm going to prove it to you today, okay? That's our subject for today, St. John's. First, let's go to our news. Let's see what's happening in the health world. You may be at risk for lung cancer even if you don't smoke. Researchers from the Norwegian University of Science and Technology followed 65,000 subjects for 16 years. Over the course of the study, 94% of those who developed lung cancer were smokers or past smokers. However, 6% of the lung cancer victims never smoked. The study found no clear-cut risk factor that accurately predicted which non-smokers would develop lung cancer. They did find 7 risk factors that accurately predicted who among all study subjects, smokers and non-smokers, would develop lung cancer. Each year, 1.2 million people worldwide develop lung cancer. The study was published by the Lancet Associated online journal, eBiomedicine. Well, this one is critically important. Lung cancer is among the most deadly cancers we face, and it's responsible for the most cancer-related deaths. Smoking is far and away the biggest risk factor for lung cancer, and the majority of cancer patients are smokers or they have been smokers in the past. But not all lung cancer patients have smoked. This large, well-designed study found 94% of lung cancer patients in Norway now, this is Norway specifically, are smokers or past smokers. And 6% never did smoke. They found there was no clear-cut risk factor that predicted which non-smokers would go on to develop lung cancer, but they did identify 7 risk factors for all in the study that predicted with 88% accuracy who would eventually develop lung cancer. Now, those risk factors are: 1, advancing age. Of course, the older you are, the greater your risk of lung cancer. Next is pack years smoked. For example, 1 pack a day for 1 year is 1 pack year. Smoking 2 packs a day for 1 year is 2 pack years. They found having a 20 pack year history or more increased lung cancer risk. The next risk is the number of cigarettes smoked daily, meaning a few cigarettes daily for many years is more dangerous than many cigarettes for just a few years. Also, having a low BMI or being very thin is a risk for lung cancer. Next is how often you have a persistent cough. If you have a periodic daily cough, say for 2 weeks of every month, well, that's a significant risk. And finally, how many hours a day are you exposed to secondhand indoor smoke? Well, that's also a risk for lung cancer. Add these up, smokers, and you will have a much better idea if you are at heightened risk for lung cancer. The study also provides an online calculator that you or your doctor may use to assist you. The risk calculator can be found by searching for the Hunt Lung Cancer Risk Model. People who eat eggs are at lower risk for cardiovascular disease. Researchers from Peking University evaluated multiple health and dietary parameters of over 500,000 Chinese subjects. They found those who ate 1 egg a day were at 26% reduced risk of hemorrhagic stroke, 12% reduced risk of coronary artery disease, and 18% reduced risk of cardiovascular disease-related death overall. The study was published by the medical journal Heart. Doctors and health researchers have been selling the notion that chicken eggs are bad for us because they contain saturated fat and cholesterol, which supposedly raises our risk of our most common killer, cardiovascular disease. They do contain these things, but they also contain a wide variety of essential vitamins, minerals, fats, and proteins that appear to cancel any of these negative health effects. They also provide a highly nutritious meal that is sugar-free, something that America desperately needs more of. This study counters the notion that eggs are bad, but rather they are highly nutritious, providing protection from cardiovascular disease. In the United States, coronary artery disease is the most common cause of cardiovascular disease, but in China, stroke is more common than heart disease. So they saw a greater reduction in stroke than heart disease. Now, I must add this study was observational, meaning it does not prove cause and effect, but this study and many more adds evidence to the notion eggs provide a great start to the day. Sugar is the type of food we should avoid, not eggs. The use of antibiotics may be contributing to an increase of kidney stone formation. Researchers from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia reviewed health records of some 13 million patients in Great Britain. They found the use of antibiotics increased the risk of urinary tract stones from 27 to over 200%, depending on what type of antibiotic was used. The study was published in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology. Folks, the prevalence of kidney stones has increased by 70% over the past 45 years, and this time frame is also the time of increasing antibiotic use. The researchers took into consideration changes in diet and water consumption, along with other factors that may contribute to kidney stone formation, and their conclusion was, if you take antibiotics, you are more likely to also develop urinary tract stones. Now, folks, I don't think I need to remind you that kidney stones are among the most painful health conditions known, and we should do everything in our power to avoid them. I think we can all agree on that issue. The question that needs answering is, what is it about antibiotics that lead to kidney stones? The researchers did not offer an explanation. However, I can tell you with a high degree of certainty, antibiotics change normal intestinal flora into a disease state we call intestinal dysbiosis. And dysbiosis alters how our bodies process minerals. Alter mineral processing, and you may over time develop kidney stones. Ouch. Now, it's important to understand there are times when we really must take antibiotics. Yes, antibiotics are potentially life-saving, but experts agree we use them too often and for the wrong reasons. When you really need an antibiotic, take steps to protect yourself from antibiotic complications. This includes following a low-starch and no-sugar diet while on the antibiotic and for at least 2 weeks or more after you've completed the antibiotics. Add a couple of anti-yeast herbs such as oil of oregano, olive leaf extract, or black seed oil, along with probiotic supplements and foods such as low-sugar yogurt. Do all of these things while on the antibiotic and after, and it is my firmly held belief your risk of kidney stones and other antibiotic-related complications can be reduced dramatically. All of these dysbiosis measures are outlined in my book, Foundations for Healing. Well, today on Your Health, we'd like to discuss nature's mood elevator, St. John's wort. This remarkable herb really works, and it's virtually side effect free. So join us to learn more.
Do you believe that nature holds the answer to your health needs? Are you looking for a supplement that's simple and pure, yet really works?
If you're looking for nature's answer to better health, look to Aloha Noni Juice. It's pure and fresh, just like nature intended. Aloha Noni Juice is brought to you direct from the islands of Polynesia.
Aloha Noni Juice is 100% pure with no added sugar or sweet fruit fillers. It's the perfect addition to your low-sugar diet.
Aloha Noni Juice drinkers will tell you their vitality, energy, and sense of well-being have improved, along with relief from many painful conditions. Made by nature, proven by science, Aloha Noni Juice contains only nature's best.
And now you can enjoy the benefits of our new 100% certified organic Noni Juice.
Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings.
I'm Dr. Richard Becker for Your Health at a Glance. High cholesterol raises your risk for cardiovascular disease, but it's just one risk factor among many. And the need to lower your cholesterol can be over-exaggerated. Everywhere in the media, we see advertisements for cholesterol-lowering prescription drugs. It's a big business. Now, cardiovascular disease kills more Americans than any other disease, so we need to pay attention to all the risk factors for heart disease. Here's a prevention strategy. Besides lowering your cholesterol, treat high blood pressure. Stop all tobacco, manage diabetes, exercise regularly to stay fit, avoid sugar, eat fish and fresh fruits and vegetables. Take your daily vitamin and use omega-3 oils. Address all your risk factors, not just your cholesterol. For your health at a glance, I'm Dr. Richard Becker. There are thousands of fungal species, and at least 200 of them have been found to cause human diseases.
Fungal infections are common, so what can we do to protect ourselves?
One solution is oregano, a natural alternative. Oregano fights problems created by fungus and yeast overgrowth, and it improves many other health conditions.
At BioInnovations, we offer oregano in gel caps and liquid extract.
Yeast and fungal disorders can improve.
So take charge of your health by choosing a natural alternative such as oregano gel caps or oil of oregano liquid extract.
Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings. That number's 888-442-2128.
Welcome back, everyone. It's great to be with you today. You know, everyone gets sad at one time or another in their life, don't they? Everyone suffers from the blues. Today, we're going to talk about how you can beat the blues the natural way. So, Richard, in today's world, depression is commonplace. In fact, it's on the rise.
It is on the rise, and I'm glad you made that distinction about having sad days and the blues, because that is different than clinical depression, and we'll get into this in our discussion, but St. John's Wort is a wonderful remedy for clinical depression and for just having a bad week. And one of the great advantages of St. John's is you can start it, stop it at will with no problems. Well, this depression thing, it is common in modern America. Scientists, epidemiologists tell us that 22% of us will have clinical depression at some time in our lives. That's a pretty high percentage. 1 in 10 Americans are now taking a medication for a psychiatric diagnosis. 10%, 1 in 10. 6 to 8% are currently depressed and taking a prescription for their depression. The medications used for depression are fraught with side effects and only marginally effective. That really is the whole purpose of this discussion today. The medications available to treat depression aren't that good. They have their place, don't get me wrong, but they're not that good, and the side effects are prohibitive for many. There is an alternative. St. John's Wort is an ancient antidepressant remedy that works just as well as the medications, and it is virtually side effect free. Works just as well, but without the downside of the side effects. Now let's define what clinical depression is. It is a mental state characterized by a dejected mood, loss of hope, loss of self-love, a presence of self-loathing, slowing of thoughts. That's important. It's hard to think your way out of depression. Slowing of thoughts and physical action. There may be insomnia or hypersomnia. You may want to sleep all day, or you can't sleep at all. Or you may have normal sleep. There's a wide variety of how it affects our sleep. There may be weight loss or weight gain, feelings of guilt, exaggerated physical complaints. There may be chronic pain. This is an important point to make. Chronic pain can lead to depression, or depression can lead to chronic pain. It works both ways. There may be misconceptions of the consequences of engaging in life. What do I mean by that? Your friend calls you and say, let's go to the social this Saturday night, it'll be fun. And you say, no, I don't want to be around people, it won't be fun at all, I want to be home and just be alone. Well, it's a misconception of the consequences of engaging in life. You've always enjoyed being around people, but now for the last 2 months, you just want to isolate yourself. So there's a misconception of what normally would make you feel good and feel more productive and engaged in life. We don't understand that as well. See, this is one of the key features of depression is it's very hard for you to determine what will pull you out of the funk. That's a key feature of depression. Now, to be clinically depressed, this pattern of thought should continue for at least 2 weeks, more up to 6 weeks and longer. It's not a couple bad days. We're not talking about that. This is a persistent pattern of dejection. There are two basic types of depression, and I'm using broad strokes and general terms here to help us understand. There are two basic types of depression. First is endogenous. This is a genetic susceptibility to depression. It runs in the family. I'm just kind of built this way. I've been like this all my life. Fortunately, this is the minority. Only 1 out of 10 or so are this way. Exogenous depression, this means life's circumstances have led to your depression. That is by far the majority, some 90%. Now, there are subtypes and all, I understand, but for our purposes today, you're either hardwired, born to be blue, or your life's events have led to this veil of depression. The life circumstances. The far and away the most prevalent cause of depression is life circumstances. And what are those circumstances? Malnutrition and nutrient deficiencies. This is very common, but it is understated because it does not fit the drug model, right? If you could just take a B vitamin and cure your depression, you don't need the drug. That costs you $15 a day to take. It doesn't fit the drug model, so you're not going to hear much about it, but you will hear it on this program. Next, illnesses and chronic pain. Virtually any chronic illness can lead to depression, even short-term illnesses. When I get influenza, I feel down in the dumps. How about you? Well, how about you? You feel kind of down in the dumps. Oh, I'm sick again, you know, that kind of feeling. This is very common. Chronic illness, even acute illness. Chronic pain. Medications, many of the medicines we take for chronic pain can cause depression, furthering the chronic pain. It can be a real cyclic phenomena. Drugs of abuse, alcohol, abusive relationships, financial hardships, marital stress, stress in general, along with the loss of joy and hope caused by the separation from God, all of this can lead to depression. I do want to make the point that it is we who separate ourselves from the love of Jesus and God. God never separates from us. We do that on our own. You understand that. You understand that. So all of those things can lead to the life events that can lead to depression. Well, how are we treating depression in our modern society? Well, we take antidepressants, and millions upon millions are doing it. There are at least 25 different antidepressant medications approved by the FDA. Let's just name a few so you have familiarity. The selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. This is a drug that inhibits the breakdown of serotonin in the brain. This is like your Prozac, your Zoloft. These are very common. Many people have taken them. Serotonin and norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors. This is like Effexor, Prestix, Cymbalta. These are also very common. The serotonin modulators and stimulators, the tricyclic and tetracyclic antidepressants like Elavil and Ludiamil, monoamine oxidase inhibitors, and others. These are very common, and these medicines are also used for a variety of psychological diagnoses apart from depression. The problem with all of these medicines, and they're all in this category, they're only marginally more effective than a placebo. And this is not my idea. This is from the scientific literature. About 53%, if you do a study with 1,000 depressed individuals, about half of them take one of these medicines we just discussed and say, you know, I think that has helped me. But guess what? 40% of those who took the placebo say, I think the sugar pill helped me. Of course, they didn't know it was a sugar pill. So 53 versus 40, that's not very good. When you consider a third of those who take the prescription antidepressant drugs, a third stop them because either the medicine wasn't working or the side effects are prohibitive. That's not a very good track record. But the media wants you to believe the only thing you can do to help with the blues, depression, long-term blues, is take these pills. This is just not true. Side effects are common. The number one reason why people stop the antidepressant drugs: insomnia, headache, brain fog, and detachment syndrome. What does that mean? It is a sense that I'm depressed, I realize that, but I don't care. Or there is chaos occurring over there, but I'm not a part of it and I don't care. Or my anger and rage is such that I will act out upon it and I don't care about the consequences of my action. And this is what we see in the antidepressants, is aggression and violence towards others. Now, this is not a real common reaction, but it does happen, and particularly when we first start the antidepressant drugs or stop them abruptly. It is a huge problem in this country today, and that doesn't happen with St. John's, not at all. All right, we're going to a break. When we return, let's talk about the history of this ancient remedy for the blues. We'll be back.
Are you one of the 62 million Americans suffering from gastrointestinal problems? Do you struggle with other chronic conditions? That's why we offer Dr. Becker's Bionutrient Probiotics.
After years of research, we developed a revolutionary probiotic formula with gastrodefense technology. This system protects the good bacteria from stomach acid so the probiotics reach the intestines where they go to work. Additionally, we use live count technology to prolong the shelf life of the probiotics, so there's no need for refrigeration.
Dr. Becker's Bionutrient Probiotics is a powerful combination and one of the most effective formulas available today. And we offer a children's chewable formula too, both at prices you can afford.
Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings. That number's 888-442-2128. I'm Cindy Becker for Your Health at a Glance. Do you remember the questions you wanted to ask your doctor after you've left the doctor's office? That's happened to me, so here's my strategy to get ready for a doctor visit. If it's a first-time appointment, be sure your medical records arrive ahead of you. The doctor can review your history quickly. This leaves more time for discussion. For every visit, write down your questions at home. Include a list of medications you take. When you arrive, fill out the medical history forms concisely and accurately. Attach a copy of your questions with the forms so the doctor is aware of your questions before he or she steps into the exam room. Bring a friend for support and have a notepad to take notes. Before you leave, have all your prescriptions. And here's hoping you don't go to the doctor very often. With Your Health at a Glance, I'm Cindy Becker.
Every day, about 200 million Americans do not get enough of a key essential mineral.
That mineral is magnesium. The typical American diet does not supply enough.
And magnesium is so important. It protects bones and helps more than 300 different enzymes in the human body perform efficiently.
That's why Bioinnovations offers chelated magnesium capsules for oral use and topical magnesium gel to be applied to the skin. That's 2 forms of magnesium to meet your daily needs.
Scientific evidence points to chelation as the best method of vitamin and mineral formulation.
Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health.
Because chances are you are one of the 200 million Americans who need more magnesium every day.
Again, that number is 888-442-2128. Call today. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings.
We're back, everyone, talking about how you can beat the blues the natural way. This is so amazing. We're going to talk about this really amazing little herb, St. John's wort, that doesn't really get much attention, but I'm telling you, it's very powerful. So, Richard, let's talk about the history of St. John's.
Yes, St. John's wort goes back many, many centuries, all the way back to Hippocrates in 400 BC. He wrote of the marvel of St. John's wort. He didn't call it that. He had another name for it. Theophrastus in 300 BC, Dioscorides in 100 AD. All of the ancient physicians that we hold in high esteem, they wrote of the healing properties of St. John's. The botanist refers to St. John's as Hypericum perforatum. Hypericum perforatum. It grows indigenously in Europe, North Africa, Western Asia, and India, and it's been introduced for cultivation worldwide due to its remarkable medicinal properties. St. John's wort, the name itself, comes from a European tradition, and this is really quite interesting. The plant was traditionally harvested. It came to full ripeness, as it were, on St. John's Day, which is June 24 in the European climate. And hypericum means to hang above. It was tradition to take the beautiful flowers of St. John's wort and place them above the religious icon of St. John, a picture of St. John's. And so this came to be known as St. John's wort, and wort was an old English word for plant. So to hang a plant above St. John's, hypericum perforatum. Hypericum means above, a place above, and perforatum means to have little holes in it. And if you look on the leaf of St. John's wort, there are little dark spots on the plant that look like holes, but they're actually glandular structures. We call these sori. And so the whole thing makes sense. To hang above St. John's, hypericum, to place above, and perforatum, little holes in the leaf. So it all works out. But it's held in high esteem. To be named after St. John, you've got to have something going for you, don't you? That's a pretty special name to have. Historically, the medicinal part of the plant is the flower and the bud of the flower. That's the power. And when you look at the beautiful yellow flowers of St. John's wort, it has a great allure and it conveys joy to you. Does it? Just looking at the pictures, don't you say to yourself, what a joyful scene. So, you know, pay attention to these flowers. There's power, healing power in flowers. It's really quite amazing. You see this pattern as we study the herbal remedies, the great ones. The traditional historical uses of St. John's wort include for burns and bruises, make a topical poultice, put it right on the burn, sprains and strains, along with various skin conditions, dyspepsia or indigestion, allergies, and of course all the various nervous system afflictions, including hysteria, in adults and children. It has been used for centuries as a mild sedative for even infants, children and infants. The traditional method of using St. John's was to take 2 to 3 grams, a small bit, like a teaspoon, of the dried crude herb, which is the flower, and steep it in boiling water for 10 minutes or so, and then you drink that down. Of course, you could take the crushed flour and make it into a poultice, and you can still do that today, but in our modern society, that's too much effort for most people. Most just take a standardized capsule of St. John's wort. The modern era of use of St. John begins with the famous, he's a very famous Swiss physician, Paracelsus. We even named our temperatures in the metric system after Celsius. Celsius, you know, it makes sense. Paracelsus. He lived in the era of around 1490 to 1540. That was his era. And he used St. John's for a variety of psychiatric conditions, including depression, and he called it arnica for the nerves. Kind of nice, isn't it? You know, we know that arnica, the homeopathic arnica, we use for trauma. Well, if you have something that is traumatic to your nerves, like depression or great stress, it would be arnica for the nerves. Interesting way to think of it. Now, the medicinal components, when we analyze what is in St. John's wort, the researchers tell us the remarkable antidepressant effects of St. John's is not due to any one single ingredient. It is the symphony of ingredients. Things like anthocyanin derivatives, hypericin and pseudohypericin. We often use those compounds for standardization. Flavonoids like quercetin and rutin, xanthones, acyclovir-glucinols. I have a degree in biochemistry, and I still can't pronounce them. You know, the big chemical words. Volatile oils, oligoproanthocyanidins, catechins, tannin, caffeic derivatives, all of these things. They've identified all these various components, and they tried to extract them and see, is this the one that helps depression? They said, no, it's not that one. It's not this one. But when you put them all together, that's when it works. And I bring that up because this is to the dismay of the pharmaceutical companies, because they want to identify the single agent, change it a little bit, patent that compound, and you'd have the best antidepressant drug on the market. But it doesn't work that way. As is true with so much in life, it's the symphony of nutrients that makes the difference. Today, St. John's wort is in the pharmacopoeias, meaning it's in the insurance-approved treatments. They'll pay for it. It's prescribed by doctors in many countries, including the Czech Republic, France, Poland, Romania, Russia, Germany, and others. The German E-Commission, which is, see, they have a unique socialized medicine there, where if the doctor says you need St. John's, he'll write a prescription for it. It's dispensed by the pharmacy, and it's paid for through their health insurance, just like a drug would be for you. in this country. They are considered among the world's leaders and authorities on good herbal therapies. They have approved St. John's wort for psychiatric conditions including psychovegetative disturbances, clinical depression, depressed mood, anxiety, and nervous unrest. See, St. John's goes beyond just depression, clinical depression of 4, 6, 8, 10 weeks and more. It can be a bad week. I'm really stressed about the wedding that's coming or my job interview. I can take a little St. John's for a day or two, stop it at will with no problems, and it helps. It is also approved for urologic conditions, including painful or hesitant urination, and finally, pediatric sedation. An anxious child can be calmed with a small dose of St. John's. Isn't that a beautiful thing? When we return, let's talk about the science. Is your life out of balance? It may be. The average American consumes far too many omega-6s and not enough omega-3s. This creates an imbalance.
So what can we do to get back in balance? We can eat a healthy diet.
And most of us need to supplement with omega-3 rich fish oil. Fish oil contains omega-3s with DHA and EPA, fatty acids that promote good brain and heart health. So reduce omega-6 in your nutritional plan and boost omega-3 to get back in balance.
To help you do that, BioInnovations offers 2 products, the Fish Oil Complex and Omega 369, both formulated for your health and well-being. So how do you choose? For highest levels of DHA and EPA, choose the Fish Oil Complex. For a balanced formula, choose the 369. Go online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings. I'm Cindy Becker for Your Health at a Glance. How often do you go into the grocery store to buy just a bag of chips or candy bar? I suspect not very often. Then how is it that these foods make it into our grocery bags and pantries? Do you make impulse choices and buy junk food? To control that impulse, plan your next trip to the store. Write down at least 3 days of menus and build a grocery list with the ingredients needed to prepare the meals. Eat a healthy snack before going to the store. If you are hungry, you're less likely to stick to the grocery list. Shop the perimeter of the store, starting with fruits and vegetables. Have you ever noticed the most healthy foods are in the outer aisles? And avoid items displayed at the checkout counter, trying to entice you to make a last-minute purchase. Follow these tips and make a plan so your next trip gives you control and you come home with bags full of healthy food. For Your Health at a Glance, I'm Cindy Becker.
Can you lower your risk of disease? The answer is yes. One way is by including fruit in your diet. Fruit contains valuable nutrients that can reduce the risk of heart disease, stroke, and even some cancers.
We've searched the world and found 4 fruits we believe are among the best. Noni from Polynesia, acai from the Amazon, and 2 new ones, goji and mangosteen.
These 4 juices each have amazing properties that make them great additions to your nutritional plan. If you're a diabetic or have chronic pain, these juices will help you feel better and have more energy. Plus, they help with digestion.
Now you can experience the health-promoting benefits of all 4 in one convenient package we call the Fruits of the World 4-pack. And remember, it's 50% off by the case. Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings. That number's 888-442-2128. We're back, everyone, talking about how you can beat the blues the natural way. And to help you, we have a great special on St. John's wort. Today, it's buy one, get one free, where you buy 1 bottle at the regular price. You'll get a second bottle free, a great way to add this to your nutritional plan. That's today only, so don't miss it. So, Richard, you have some interesting history and science on St. John's.
So much research on St. John's in recent years, it's hard to keep up. And before we go into the research, I want to start with the statement that the U.S. Pharmacopoeia statement, the official statement in the United States, there's not enough evidence to support the use of St. John's wort. They start with that statement. And I want to start with it because now I'm going to give you the evidence that proves they're wrong and that you should use St. John's Wort. Let's go. The Swedish Council on Health and Technology reviewed all the available evidence in 2004. This has been many years ago now. They wrote, after reviewing all the evidence in those days, there is moderately strong evidence that St. John's is effective for short-term and mild depression. So even for a rough week, even if, well, it's not too bad, but I had a broken leg and I've been out of work and, you know, it's been on 2 months now. Yeah, it's perfect for that. Next, the Annals of Family Medicine, 2015. This is a meta-analysis review of 66 studies for the treatment of depression using common medications or St. John's Wort. They compared a placebo, 40% effective, and the medications and St. John's are both about 53% effective. So St. John's equals the medicines in use for depression. The conclusion they made after studying 66 different studies, and this is for family medicine, St. John's is effective for the treatment of depression with a side effect profile equal to placebo. That I like. Much better tolerated than medicines. That was their words. Cochrane Review, St. John's for major depression. This is what we admit people to a hospital for. These people are often suicidal. They don't have a reason to live. This is serious business. Can we even trust St. John's for such a serious mental condition as major depression? 9 large studies showed that St. John's is 49% better than a placebo for major depression. 9 small studies showed 87% more effective than a placebo, and 2 studies show that St. John's is equally effective to SSRIs or tricyclic antidepressants with fewer side effects. So St. John's is as effective as the big drugs for major depression, but no side effects, stop, start. I'm going to take the cheaper herbal remedy without the side effects that works just as well. It makes more sense to me. Am I wrong on that? What do you think?
No.
Yeah, okay, all right. German E-Commission review of 30 controlled trials and thousands of mild to moderately depressed patients. St. John's is superior to placebo, works as well or better than the commonly prescribed medications, and side effects are rare, equal to placebo. One study found severely depressed patients respond better than mildly depressed. Think about this for a minute. If you only are having a rough week or two, you're mild depression, you have the blues, you don't want something real powerful to knock you out, do you? That is one of the beauties of St. John's. It gives you just enough of what you need, and yet if you have major depression, it works as well as the big guns, the pharmaceuticals. I think that's amazing. And what I think that reflects is the multitude of active ingredients found in herbal products in St. John's Wort. No one thing is responsible. It's the variety of chemical elements. That's my hypothesis. Here we have brand new, hot off the presses, Therapeutic Advances in Psychopharmacology 2018. This is current. Review of all available evidence. St. John's works as well as SSRIs, that's your #1 class for treating depression in the pharmaceutical world, works as well as the Prozac class in preventing major depression relapse. Let's imagine you had a really bad year. You ended up in the hospital for depression, and you don't ever want to go through that again. You lost your job, your marriage was on the rocks. You can imagine, it'd be tough. And you say, I don't want to go through that, so I'm going to take medicines. And you get on these medicines, 3, 4 of them, because it was major depression, and the side effects are so bad, you don't know what to do with yourself. But you don't want to have a relapse. This study finds St. John's works as well as those drugs in preventing another major relapse. Is that not comforting? This is good science, folks. Good science. Phytotherapy Research 2018 review, this is another current one, review, there is high quality evidence, St. John's Wort is effective for major depressive disorder. This is current stuff. Psychopharmacology 2018, they wanted to understand better how St. John's helps with depression. Get this, St. John's modulates cortical plasticity in humans. They did this in humans. What does this mean? St. John's helps the brain adapt to changing conditions. Okay, you're sick. You have a major illness. You've been under a lot of stress. You had a divorce. You lost your job. This is changing conditions. The brain has to adapt to this. St. John's helps the brain do that. Isn't that amazing? I find that they're helping to explain how it actually works. They also found, here's another one, 2018, Frontiers in Pharmacology. St. John's protects the brain from glutamate and N-methyl D-aspartate receptor-induced cytotoxicity. Remember Dr. Blaylock's talks about toxins in our environment, MSG, aspartame, pesticides, chemical pollutants, how they act as excitotoxins. They stimulate the brain, they inflame the brain. St. John's protects from that inflammatory reaction that can lead to depression. No wonder they call it St. John's. Do you really think there's not enough evidence to support its use? It's unbelievable to me what they say. St. John's wort inhibits monoamine oxidase. This is another explanation of how it works. It's one of the enzymes that helps support neurotransmitters that lift our mood. It inhibits the monooxidase, and its quercetin and flavonoid, its antioxidants, contributes to that effect. Isn't that fascinating? Let's go to our break. We have a little more when we return. Have you heard about the health-promoting power of medicinal mushrooms? These remarkable mushrooms include maitake, shiitake, reishi, and ABM. The medicinal mushrooms contain beta-glucans, compounds that promote healthy immune function while helping to coordinate multiple body systems.
BioInnovations brings you Dr. Becker's Bionutrients Mushroom Complex with maitake, shiitake, reishi, and ABM in one convenient product.
Our mushroom complex features the safest and most powerful medicinal mushrooms available, providing natural support for a variety of health conditions.
BioInnovations is the affordable source that you can trust for all your vitamin and supplement needs. So give us a call at 888-442-2128. That's 888-442-2128. Or order online at bioinnovations.net. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings.
Here is our hope for you today. I'm Cindy Becker. In the epic movie Gone with the Wind, Scarlett O'Hara says she won't think about her problems today or she'll go crazy. She'll think about them tomorrow. How should we think about tomorrow in our lives? In Matthew 6, verse 33, we get advice about tomorrow. Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. It's so difficult to not worry about the future. Many of us catastrophize about the future. That's spending all your time thinking about all the catastrophes that might happen. So let tomorrow worry about itself. That way, we won't miss the wonderful things happening in our lives right now. I'm Cindy Becker. This is our hope for you today.
For centuries, the herb astragalus has been a staple of traditional Chinese medicine. It's used to create a strong shield, protecting the immune system.
Astragalus is also used to support healthy heart and lung function.
There's even more. Astragalus helps to calm total body inflammation, a common cause of pain and chronic illness.
All of that without the use of medication.
That's right. Support your health the way nature intended with astragalus root.
BioInnovations brings you Dr. Becker's Bionutrients Astragalus Root Extract. BioInnovations is the affordable source that you can trust for all your vitamin and supplement needs. Give us a call at 888-442-2128 or order online at bioinnovations.net and see what astragalus can do for your health. That number once again is 888-442-2128. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings. Call today.
We're back, everyone. Just a little reminder to help you beat the blues the natural way with St. John's Wort. We have a great special for you. Dr. Becker's Bionutrients St. John's Wort is buy one, get one free today only. You buy one bottle at the regular price and you get a second bottle free. So you don't want to miss that one. Richard, you had a few more studies to share with everyone.
Yes, to summarize our scientific research on St. John's Wort, multiple studies conducted all around the world find St. John's improves mood. It increases interest in activities. Yes, I want to go to the social with you. It'll be fun. It helps improve that status. It improves sleep. It improves concentration while it reduces anxiety, pain, and somatic complaints. Now, in recent years, I think the pharmaceutical companies have done some studies to discredit St. John's, and so they were able to show that St. John's can well, let me explain it this way. St. John's actually increases enzymes called the cytochrome P450. These are detoxifying enzymes. Anything that increases detoxification is a good thing, isn't it? Well, it is almost all the time. So St. John's would help you to detox. It'd be a good detox, part of your detox program. But if you're taking critical life-saving medicines, it may lower the drug level if you take St. John's with these critical medicines. What are those medicines? Lipid-lowering drugs, it can lower those, and sometimes those are life-saving, rarely, but it can be. Immune suppressants, drugs that you would take to inhibit the rejection of an organ that was transplanted into you. You may not want to take St. John's, or you may need to take more of the other medicine that inhibits immune reaction. Coumadin, warfarin, it can lower warfarin levels. And low-dose oral birth control pills or any essential medication, discuss this with your doctor first before you use St. John's. This does not mean you cannot use St. John's, but you'd want to skillfully manipulate drug levels so that you can. You may not be able to take a Prozac with these other medicines. It may make you feel terrible. St. John's is an option, but you have to be wise about its management. I want to be clear about that. Okay, good. Who should consider taking St. John's? Mild to severe depression, the gamut of depression, whether it's clinical, and my main distinction with that is it's lasting longer than a bad week. You know what I mean? It's not just short-term blues. It is a proven pattern of depression. 2 to 6 weeks is the official definition. Anyone with mild to severe depression, any mood, or seasonal affect disorder. You know, in the winter, without light, we tend to get a little blue. St. John's works for that. It's really quite impressive. Don't forget your vitamin D for that syndrome. Stress and anxiety. Stress, anxiety, and depression are the triplets. They go together. And you may say, well, I'm more stressed than depressed. Are you really? Are you sure? Look at your patterns of behavior. You will see in most people, they have symptoms of depression with it too. So we always want to bring in anxiety, stress, and depression. That triad, they go together very, very often. Chronic pain, arthritis, degenerative disc disease, anything that is wearing you out with pain leads to depression. It really does. Now, you're fighting the strong fight. I understand that. But this is a God-given gift to help you through those tough times. That's how we should think of St. John's. Nervous conditions such as neuralgia, diabetic neuralgia, sciatica, carpal tunnel syndrome, chronic bladder irritation, as we learned from the German Knee Commission, dyspepsia, intestinal upsets. How do we take St. John's Wort? Standardization is very important. Our product is 350 milligrams of St. John's Wort, standardized to contain 0.3% hypericins. That tells you quality. We take the effort, the time and the effort to be sure it's up to standards. That's a key to all of these. You want it to work. And the reason this is, or let's say you really have depression and you take St. John's and it's an inferior product and you said, that stuff doesn't help me a bit. Well, you took the wrong stuff. Quality matters. It does. So standardization, 350 milligram capsules. Start with 1 the first day. The next day, go to 2, go to 3. Most people will find help with 3 capsules of 350 milligrams hypericin, which is St. John's Wort. You can take more if you need it. I would not exceed 6 or 8 capsules a day without the help of a physician, especially if you're taking multiple medicines. But 3 for most of us, but some may need a little more. And certainly with the help of a physician, you can take more, someone who's experienced in the use of St. John's wort. Now, what else do we do to help fight our depression? It's not just about taking one agent, is it? This is holism that we're trying to define. Improve your diet, fresh fruits and vegetables. And I want to underline the point, well, when you're depressed, it appears there is no help for you. That's one of the key features to tell you, oh, I'm depressed. I need to take steps to get out of that bubble, that veil that clouds everything you perceive. Include fresh fruits and vegetables. Improve the diet. Whole grains where appropriate. Fish is very helpful because of the omega-3s. Poultry, lean meats, olive oil, nuts and seeds. Eat healthy. Eat organic whenever possible. Eliminate food additives. Chemicals inflame the brain. An inflamed brain is a depressed brain. We could talk for hours on that subject, but please trust me at this point. Purify the diet. As few chemicals as possible. Prepare more of your own foods. Do not trust somebody 1,500 miles away to make your hamburger. Make your own. You're going to get better food, it's purer food, cleaner food, and your health will thank you for it. Holistically treat any health condition. Dysbiosis, hypothyroidism. You would be amazed how many times people come into the doctor's office with chronic health conditions. They're not making progress, and it's so depressing for them. This is the classic depression scenario. Treat everything. And when you treat the degenerative arthritis that is hurting you every night and interfering with your sleep, when you get that under control, everything starts getting better. And St. John's is part of that. Begin a regular exercise program. Now, let's go to the break, but when I return, let's discuss the facts on exercise and depression. We'll be back. Have you heard of Cordyceps sinensis, the medicinal mushroom that supports metabolic processes for stimulant-free energy? This remarkable mushroom also supports the immune and respiratory systems, as well as the heart and lungs.
BioInnovations brings you Dr. Becker's Bionutrients, Cordyceps sinensis.
Medicinal mushrooms contain beta-glucans, compounds that promote healthy immune function while helping to coordinate multiple body systems. And Cordyceps sinensis is among the safest and most powerful medicinal mushrooms available today, making it your choice for stimulant-free natural energy.
BioInnovations is the affordable source that you can trust for all your vitamin and supplement needs. Give us a call at 888-442-2128. That's 888-442-2128. Or order online at bioinnovations.net. Be sure to ask about the auto ship program for additional savings.
I'm Dr. Richard Becker, and this is Your Health at a Glance. Do you suffer from cramps, gas, bloating, or other digestive troubles? How about fatigue, depression, and headaches? All these symptoms could be caused by a condition called lactose intolerance. Your body doesn't digest lactose, the sugar found in milk and other dairy products. As a result, you can suffer from a wide variety of symptoms. If you often experience digestive problems, fatigue, depression, or headaches following meals, try avoiding dairy for a week or two and see if your symptoms lessen or go away. All of the nutrients found in dairy, including calcium, are present in sufficient amounts in other foods. So if you find that you are lactose intolerant, you can safely avoid dairy and still enjoy complete nutrition. For Your Health at a Glance, I'm Dr. Richard Becker. Vitamin D deficiency is at epidemic levels in the United States. Chances are you aren't getting enough of this essential nutrient. Vitamin D is one of the most important molecules in the human body. It's required for the proper function of nearly 4,000 genes and 1,000 metabolic chemical reactions.
BioInnovations brings you Dr. Becker's Bionutrients Vitamin D3. Now, supplementing with vitamin D is safe and affordable.
Studies show that vitamin D deficiency can lead to poor immune function, depression, cardiovascular disease, bone disease, diabetes, cancer, and much more. Starting supplementing vitamin D today for better health tomorrow.
BioInnovations Innovations is the affordable source that you can trust for all your vitamin and supplement needs. So give us a call at 888-442-2128. That's 888-442-2128. Or order online at bioinnovations.net. Your Health is brought to you by BioInnovations, trusted products for your health and well-being.
We're back. Just a quick reminder on that special. The St. John's Wort is buy one, get one free today, so don't miss it. Richard, exercise and depression.
Well, exercise is as effective as the major antidepressants for depression. It works. Get out and take a walk, preferably in the sunshine. Socialize. The company of a good friend can truly lift your spirits. Also, help someone in need. Focus on other people's. You know, it's been my experience that there's always someone worse off than I am. There's always somebody. And when you focus on helping them, you lift your own spirit. Helping is healing. It's very important and very helpful. Spiritual practice. Please remember you have value. You are worth the effort. God loves you and God will always love you. If you don't have faith, it's okay, because God has faith in you. What did Jesus say? I will be with you always. B complex. Many people manage their depression with just B vitamins alone. Isn't that amazing? We don't have time to go into that. Watch our B complex show. You'll learn more about that. Minerals. Magnesium, calcium, various minerals in the B vitamins are used to make these neurotransmitters that elevate our mood. Protein, amino acids are converted into neurotransmitters which help to maintain our mood. Vitamin C, especially if you have hormone-related depression, vitamin C helps the adrenal glands. Vitamin D, all the multiple vitamins and minerals. A good multiple vitamin and mineral is very important to help maintain nutrient deficiencies. Remember when we discussed what causes this depression? Nutrient deficiencies, a poor diet is a major cause in this country for depression. Nobody wants to talk about that. We have to address those issues. Omega-3s, the brain doesn't work right without them. Probiotics treat the dysbiosis. The gut makes more serotonin than the brain. If the gut is aching, you're going to be depressed. Treat the gut. Treat the yeast. Treat the dysbiosis. It makes a world of difference in depression. It does, it surely does. Mitochondrial support, the energy flow to cells. CoQ10, L-carnitine, D-ribose, they can be very helpful. Curcumin improves the energy in the brain by up to 150%. A low energy brain is a depressed brain. A high energy brain is full of spirit and optimism. Improve the energy in the brain. Melatonin, improve your sleep. This works dramatically. For some people, it's just a miracle cure for depression. Bioidentical hormone support if you need it, but first, try the Healthy Balance Kit to naturally support hormones. Hormones are an undercurrent in many cases of aberrant hormones are an undercurrent in many cases of depression. Keep that in mind. What else? SAMe. The problem that people have with SAMe is they take too small a dose. 800, 1,200, 16 milligrams of SAMe a day helps your body build up neurotransmitters that supports depression. And don't forget tryptophan and hydroxytryptophan, which our body directly turns into serotonin. Well, we did it. It's a tremendously large subject, but it's critical. Depression is common, and the blues is even more common. But we have a natural alternative, one you can start today and stop tomorrow, with virtually no side effects, no withdrawal, no aggressive behaviors, no electrical shocks going through your system like is so common with the prescriptive antidepressants. Well, folks, think about it. Thank you for your kind attention. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Your Health. Bye-bye.
Did you know lifestyle diseases are a $2 trillion economic burden annually? Benjamin Franklin once said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Don't wait for a diagnosis, disease, or other ailment to surprise you. Eat an apple, take a walk, give a hug. Take positive preventive steps towards a healthier lifestyle, and you'll experience vitality every day. It's not crazy, just healthy.
Beloved, above all things, I wish, I pray, I want you to prosper If you get around people who don't have a small God, if you get around people who believe the Bible, that with God all things are possible, do you know that affects you? It's not that you love God, it is that He loved you.